You're listening to the Breakaway Breakdown podcast, where we bring you interviews with some of the top ropers in the country, news about what's going on in the fastest sport on dirt, training tips for you and your horses, and so much more. I'm your host, Casey Allen. Let's jump in. Hey everybody, it's Casey Allen. I'm your host of the Breakaway Breakdown, and today I'm bringing you something new called the Tie Down Breakdown, where we're going to take a little pause from what's happening in the world of breakaway, and I'm going to go through the pro rodeo standings and the tie down roping, kind of give you guys a rundown of what the news is on that side of the industry. We're going to talk about the key players right now, who's hot, who's not been winning, the veterans, the newbies, the resist all rookie guys that are in the hunt. Just kind of take you through even some of the futurities, what's been going down. And then at the end of this, you're going to get to hear from the number one man in the world standings, Riley Webb. We'll get back to that later, but first, let us talk about the tie-down roping world standings, because you want to talk about salty this year. Guys, the number 15 spot right now, at the time I'm recording this, August 22nd, 2023, is Zach Youngblood, former NFR qualifier. He is over the $90,000 mark. So I'm going to work my way up the standings, but you guys, $100,000 is not safe right now in the tie-down roping to make the NFR. Let's just take a second and let that sink in. The talent that we've got going on the road this year is insane in this event. Let's talk about the top of the standings first. Now, as I mentioned before, Riley Webb is sitting number one. He's got $229,000 on the books so far. And guys, if some of you have insider information and some of these standings maybe aren't correct down to the dollar, I'm reading them straight from the Pro Rodeo website, so don't come for me. But anyway, Webb, like I said, 20 years old. He's from Denton, Texas. He actually crushed the regular season's earning record at the end of July. So he's up there in a race of his own. But if anybody's got a chance to catch him in the world standings race, it is former world champion, number 2 man, Haven Medjid. Now, you're going to hear Webb talk about his horsepower here in a little bit, but if there's one thing we can say about the guys in the top 5 in general right now, is they're all packing some serious horsepower. Haven is no exception. We've seen him pull out a few different horses this season. He is building a breeding program. He's heavily involved in the futurity world. He takes his training very seriously and his horsemanship extremely seriously. So Haven and our number 3 man, Shane Hanchey, who's got about $140,000 on the books, have been heavily in the futurity pursuit outside of their efforts in the pro rodeo world. So just last week, we saw Haven and Shane duck off to the Royal Crown Futurity in Rock Springs. They both had a great showing there. Haven won the all ages in the tie-down roping, and Shane came in on one of his standouts, Rolling on the River, and he won both the 4 and under and the 6 and under and had himself a nice little $18,000 weekend while he ducked off from the pro rodeos. Fun fact, Rollin' on the River has actually picked up a little over $50,000 just at Royal Crown events this year. So I don't think Hanchey's sweating too much in the world standings, but I'm not going to speak for him. Number 4 man, Shad Money Mayfield, he's got almost $130,000 won. We're pretty sure he's safe to come back to the NFR once again. And I'm going to tell you guys something about Shad. He is got a vendetta against the Thomas and Mack right now. He is going to be coming in hot no matter what position he comes in. Number 5, we've got the man who won $600,000 at the American Rodeo this year, Ty Harris. Man, Ty has just been having a stellar season, cruising right along. He's at $126,000. He's about locked in for the finals. And then number 6, we've got the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo champion this year, Weston Hughes. He's another one of the younger guys. He's at $106,000, as is number 7 man, the veteran Hunter Heron. We get to number 8, it starts to get interesting. We've got Bo Cooper with $103,000 on the books. He had a rough start to the season. There was that controversy around Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo with his barrier that malfunctioned. And once things got rolling for him, they really got rolling. He picked up the Calgary Stampede win, which was super exciting because he is a native Canadian. So he got to bring that back home to his family in Alberta. And like I said, normally I would feel pretty comfortable saying someone sitting at $103,000 is safe for the NFR, but it gets sharky, you guys. 9 and 10, we've got Brush and Mitten, John Dausch in there. And number 11, we've got Caleb Smith. He's at $94,000, reigning world champion. Smith, he's not stressing anything. One of our writers at calfroping.com talked to him a few weeks ago, and he is just rolling along, trusting his horsepower, and he's one of the guys who is playing it smart and holding out for the playoff series. I'm going to get back to that in a minute, but I just want to run through the rest of these standings. Number 12, we've got Blaine Cox. He's been hauling with Shad this year. I think he's super pumped to get out on the road. He's got a few great horses under him. He's at $92,000. Then we've got another NFR veteran, Corey Solomon, at $91,000. And then number 14, we have an Alabama native, Michael Otero. Now, interestingly enough, Michael's wife, Carly Otero, is also sitting on the bubble in the barrel racing. She's just outside of it. So I imagine they're both going pretty heavy right now. And at number 15, at that $90,000 mark, like I said, we've got Zach Youngblood. All right, now we need to get into what's going on with the playoff series. What is the playoff series? Basically, it's accumulation of rodeos that the PRCA picked out at the beginning of the year that you can accumulate points on the side for and qualify yourself into Puyallup this September. Why does everybody want to get into Puyallup? Great question. So Puyallup takes the top 24 guys in the playoff standings, which is accumulated by points they get through different rodeos in the season. And they're also going to take the NFR Open champion, Garrett Jacobs, but pays a lot of money, and that's great. We love money. But the big reason to get into Puyallup is this year they've added the Governor's Cup in Sioux Falls, the September 28th and 29th. So as the curtain drops on the season, Sioux Falls is going to offer $1 million payout between all 8 events. What that looks like for each event is an opportunity to win up to $40,000 as the season closes. So it is super important for these guys to be one of the top 8 coming out of Puyallup or one of the top 4 in the overall playoff standings to get into Sioux Falls to have a chance at that huge payday. Number 1 in the playoff series right now is Shane Hanchey, Riley Webb, Ty Harris, and number 4 is our number 16 man in the world standings, Luke Potter. Potter just won the Cheyenne Frontier Days. I know he may not be a household name yet, but I've known him for a long time. He's worked really hard to be among one of the best in the world, and he obviously had a great strategy this season because although he's just outside of the world standings, he's sitting great to get an automatic exemption into Sioux Falls at the end of the season and really give himself a chance to break up that bubble. Now, the other reason this is interesting is because down at the bottom of the playoff standings is your number 17 man, Marcus Costa. So Costa is sitting 19th in the playoff standings. He's sitting 17th in the world. He's really got to make sure he locks in that qualification to Sioux Falls to give himself a chance to come back to the finals. Another one is Michael Otero. He's number 22 in the playoff standings right now. He's going to be really looking to lock that up. And one of the reasons that I've got some nerves for Bo Cooper is because he is 25th in those standings right now. So him and Tough Cooper, who is another veteran that's on the outside of the bubble, are going to be right there on that cusp. They need to win a little bit more in the playoff series to solidify their spot into Puyallup, and then they're going to have to fight through Puyallup. It's going to be 2 rounds, then an 8-man, then a 4-man shootout, and they're going to have to be on their game to get to Sioux Falls. If it feels like I'm throwing a ton of information at you guys rapid fire, have no fear. We're going to have all this information on calfroping.com for you guys to go and reference. And when we post the podcast episode online, we're going to have notes to those articles so that you guys can see it, look at everything side by side, really get an understanding of what's going on and how much of an impact we think that's going to have on the world standings race at the end of the season. Let's check out the Resistol rookie race while we're here, because another one of those outside guys in the world standings that's giving themselves a chance to potentially pull out a last-minute NFR bid is Dylan Hancock. He's a little bit of a long shot. He's got 62,001 on the year, but he's got command of the Resistol rookie race right now. He's got over $12,000 ahead of number 2 man Cash Enderly and number 3 man Joel Harris. Now, Hancock is sitting number 20 in the playoff series, so he's still got an outside chance. It's definitely too early in the season to figure out who's safe and who's not, like I said, except for those top few guys in the world. So I'm not going to get too much deeper into the numbers, but I just wanted to give you guys kind of an overview of the drama, what's been going on everywhere. It's definitely going to be an exciting race right down to the final minute. Now, I can tell you guys this. calfroping.com is going to have a representative at Sioux Falls at the end of the season, so we're going to have your winners and those guys that lock in their NFR qualification on tap. We're going to be bringing them on this podcast, and it's just going to be a ton of fun. Same with the breakaway winners that weekend. We're also going to have team members hiding out at some of the smaller rodeos that weekend so that we can catch guys where they're at. We can get you guys the TikToks, the interviews, everything that's going on that weekend. We are going to be 24 hours around the clock, calculating, crunching, stressing, not as much as the contestants, but we'll be right there with them. So I could go on all day about who's winning, who's not, but I'm going to let you guys go ahead and hear from Riley Webb. Like I said, he's 20 years old, just crushed the regular season's earning record. Last year, he was the Resistol Rookie of the Year and made his first NFR. Had a really strong showing there. And anybody who's watched Riley grow up, he's been on huge stages since he was a young age, grew up in the industry. His parents put on ropings. He's been roping since he was a small kid. I mean, this kid eats, sleeps, and breathes tie-down roping. So I caught up with him while he was in Caldwell, Idaho, right before he roped there, and it's just a laid-back conversation, kind of checking in with him, his mentality, his horsepower, how the year is going for him. Make sure you guys check out teamequinity.com because this episode is brought to you by Equinity, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that at the commercial break. So I just wanted to talk about the season that you're having. Obviously incredible. Thank you again for letting me talk to you, but man, I just kind of want to know, like, what's the secret sauce this year?
Horses, I think. A horse I bought right after the finals, Boots, and I mean, I rode him everywhere up to now. I just sent him home, but I think that's been a huge part of it. I had my good Charles Titus I rode last year. He was great. And I just didn't have nothing to back him up. You know, I just ran so many on him, got tired. But, I just think the horsepower, and I learned a lot last year, and apply what I learned and try to execute every time.
Awesome. And did you say who started him or how he was bred?
Titus.
Boots.
I'll have to look up, see how he's bred, but I bought him from Ryan Ballou and right after the NFR, and he's 14 years old. I'd have to look up his papers.
I gotcha. So after NFR, did you just hit the ground running? Did you go home and work on anything? What did the start of that year look like?
Right after the 10th round, we drove straight home. The NFR was over, Saturday night. We got home Sunday night, and I tried Boots Monday morning and bought him that day. So I guess 2 days after the NFR, I drove straight home, and I tried Boots the next morning, and we started just working at it, getting ready for the new season, Denver, and everything to get going.
Awesome. So what is the trick in those winter rodeo setups? Talk to me about the tournament styles and how you mentally and physically handled those.
Yes, ma'am. You just gotta, run one calf. The format's awesome, but I think you gotta run each calf for what it is. You can't get caught up and I gotta do this, this or that, or be this. You just gotta run the calf for what he is and do the best you can every time. Everybody get caught up and advancing and all. I gotta win this much money and advance here or whatever. You just gotta, that's kind of what I learned last year. I got caught up in all the numbers and everything. And this year kind of just, was able to rope and not worry about all that.
I gotcha. And it seems like you've really, obviously you grew up in rodeo, around ropings and everything, but you were kind of thrown into a huge stage at a young age with the WCRA and high school nationals and everything. Did you ever have hesitations about roping against the open guys? Was that something you kind of developed over time, or were you just happy to be out there?
I mean, at a young age, I made the American in 2020, the roping fiesta, the youngest guy to do that in the same year, and then be able to win national high school finals that year as well. But no, I never had a problem with it because I told myself at a young age, this is what I wanted to do, and this is what I wanted to be. So it never got caught up in, I'm roping against, Tough Cooper or any of those guys. I just pictured myself, going against them.
What would you say to the kids out there that maybe don't get exposed to roping on those big stages at a young age? Is there a way that they can practice for those stages at home, or do they just have to go?
I think the more the practicing, the more you practice, obviously the better you're going to be. But practice and have a meaning when you're practicing. Back in here, I'm at the national high school finals in the short round, and put yourself in those stages in the practice pen too. Maybe not every time you run one, but put yourself in those stages. All right, I got to be 8.5 to win the national high school finals, or I got to be I got to be faster than 9 flat to make the NFR. Put yourself in those situations in the practice pen, and that's what I did too. I mean, I was in those biggest. I practiced for those. I practiced for it, so when it was time to come, I've already done it 100 times.
Just so your rookie year didn't feel as scary to you, I'm guessing, out there.
No, well, I had a slow winter, and I kind of felt behind the 8 ball. Didn't get to go to a lot of the buildings, and I just kind of felt behind the 8 ball, and felt like I'd have a big week and always still felt behind. Like it just. And then finally in the Northwest, we just had a couple good weeks in a row and finished the Northwest off strong, and that punched my ticket. But yeah, I felt behind the whole year. But I mean, I knew that I could do it. I just had to keep believing in myself and keep running them.
So you said you knew from a pretty young age what you wanted to do. What did a day look like for, say, 12 or 13-year-old Riley?
Well, I was homeschooled, so we did school in the morning, and it kind of got done, and then I'd go outside and jack around and rope the goats and rope top in the post and rope and get everything ready. And then when Dad get done from work or whatever he was doing, we'd rope in the evenings. But after lunch, I'd pretty much be roping goats, roping cat, roping time from the post, roping the dummy, doing something the rest of the day after lunch when I got done with school.
Do you think that when people see, like, the younger guys that are winning a lot, you, Shad, Kincaid, and then the other guys coming up, do you think they assume you guys have a lot of natural talent, or do you think people know how much work you guys put in at a young age?
We're all very blessed with, God-given ability, but that only you got to have a, try, and you've got to want to work hard at it and want to be the best, You got to get out there every day and give it your all. But yeah, I think people think, people are going to think whatever they want anyways. But people are like, that guy's got that, got this horse. Well, I've been working my butt off for, to have the horses and have the stuff I have since I'm, 11 years old. I knew what I wanted to do and knew what needed to be done to be successful at this level.
About just dropped the mic there, Riley. So talk to me about your Cowboy Christmas and how things have been going for you this summer. Have you been out there the whole time, or have you got to come home?
We come home for one day and kind of switch rigs around, and that's about it. But it's been good. I sent Boots home when we come back out from the Northwest. After Dodge, I took him back home and dropped him off and come back out. But I'm excited for the Northwest. We got up here. We went to Logan and Lovington and kind of made our way back out here. I did good at those, and I didn't draw very good yesterday at Caldwell, and we're up the second one today. But I'm excited for all these rodeos. I got 20 rodeos left, so I'm excited to try to finish out strong.
Today's episode is brought to you by Equinity. Equinety Horse XL is a 100% pure amino acid supplement that can help your horse perform better from the cellular level. There is no fillers added, no sugars, no starches, no soy, nothing except 100% pure amino acids. What this does for your horse is it can help them from the cellular level perform better. We're talking quicker muscle recovery and stronger collagen for a healthier coat and bones. It can help increase focus, help regulate the gut, so many different things. And you can actually use it in combination with Equinety Ultimate OEC. That's a liquid supplement that has a flaxseed-based omega-3 oil, natural vitamin E, colloidal silver, and other ingredients that are there specifically to help your horse from the cellular level. It helps support cardiovascular health, joint health, healthier skin and coat, gastric health, and can help increase immune function. We are so grateful for Equinety for bringing us this episode today. And if you want more information about their products, you've got to check out teamequinety.com. That's teamequinety.com to check out Equinety Horse XL and Equinety Ultimate OEC. So we've been starting to talk a lot about the playoff series and Puyallup and Sioux Falls coming up. Are you sitting in those standings, and how is that playing into your strategy?
Yes, man. I'm first in the standings for that as well, but that's going to be huge because a couple guys down there that need a push for to make it at the bottom or in the up there, and some of the guys that maybe at the top aren't guaranteed to be in the Sioux Falls yet, but are going to be at Puyallup. So it's going to be interesting how it plays out. That Puyallup, Pendleton, Abilene, and Sioux Falls is going to be very interesting to watch them all.
And then when you get finished with this season, are you going to take a little bit of downtime before the finals, or what does that time look like from when the curtain drops September 30th to when you guys go to Vegas?
Not really. I'm gonna try to get home, and we got the Hempstead Rosenberg jackpots and the rodeos start the new year off. I'm gonna go to those, and then I think at the Oklahoma's Richest, the 2 weeks after that, I'm gonna match Haven Medjid. And then I think another week or 2 weeks got the Stan Hanchey Invitational and the San Angelo Roping Fiesta, and then the Lubbock Pro Rodeo. So I plan on going to all that, and then try to be home as much as possible. But I'm gonna go to those 6 or 7 little events before the NFR.
So I'm usually talking to breakaway ropers on here, but I have to ask, what are some of the more interesting roping setups for tie-down ropers that you guys have had to deal with on the road?
Salinas was cool. You come out of the head box, and where else have we been? Setups. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else. Pendleton's obviously on the grass. I'm not going to go this year, but that was really cool last year. And then I'm trying to think. Salinas, Pendleton's different on the grass. Prineville, Oregon was on dirt, but it's the lane, Pendleton lane. And I think them are you got to keep it simple. Even though the setups are, different and everything, it's still, you got to rope and tie the calf down. So you got to try to keep it as simple as possible, even if the setup is different. It's still, rope and tie the calf.
And then I got to talk about Salt Lake City. Arena record there. That was super fun to watch. Also, I want to talk about you and the team roping there.
Yeah, Dylan, the guy, my traveling partner, Hancock, he said, put us down in the team roping over there. And he was just kidding, and I put us down. He was like, we were for real. And we made it back to the perfs, and I broke the barrier. We were too slow to make it back to the short round, but we would have placed over there in that set. But we walked up at Elko too and didn't have any luck, but we really were. I wasn't doing it for all around or really we were just doing it for fun, really. But
shoot, how important is it to surround yourself with good people out there, and how important is a hauling partner when you're traveling out there?
Absolutely. You got to keep it fun, and I like going with people that are the same goals as me. I went with Shad last year in the Northwest, and Dylan's been with me all year this year, so it's been fun, and I think I'm pretty sure he's in pretty deep in the rookie race, and he might have a shot here at the finals here in a couple weeks.
Awesome. So what's next? I mean, you already broke the regular season earning record. It looks like you're in a race of your own up there. How do you stay on the throttle, and what record are you looking for next, Riley?
There's no record that I'm looking at, but I rope for a living, so I try to win as much money as I can, and try to be the best I can be in and out of the arena every day. And I'm fortunate to have me 3 good horses now, and try to keep them healthy and try to keep myself healthy. And I've been waiting all my life to be in this situation, so I'm going to try to keep it going as long as I can.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Riley. I know you're getting ready for rodeo tonight. I've just got one question left, and I got to ask everybody that comes on, what is the best piece of advice that you have ever been given or that you try to live by?
Never give up, and never think you're too good to do something. I think guys get caught up and think that, oh, I'm at this level, I don't need to rope the dummy, or I don't need to do the little things. I think the little things separate everybody. If you're willing to do the stuff that everybody else isn't willing to do, then you're going to be successful.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Riley, and good luck at the next one.
Thank you. If you need anything, let me know.
Okay, you guys, let us know what you think of the first episode of the Tie Down Breakdown. We're going to have this episode and links to things we talked about today and links to more articles for you guys to read at calfroping.com. You can listen right from there. Go back through, like I said, check out your notes, and we will be coming at you with more episodes like this in the future, along with all of your favorite breakaway winners and interviews from that side of things. If you're looking for tie-down roping specific content, calfroping.com is where it's at, and Rattler Rope is going to be bringing you coverage of the World Standings race, circuit standings, Resist All Rookie race, and coverage of the top horses in the game through the NFR this year. So we've got a ton of things coming your way. Also, we've got instructional content for calf ropers on roping.com. We've got Logan Harkey. We're going to have Shad Mayfield soon. We've got Justin Moss and Caleb Smith all on that website. So make sure you guys check out teamequinity.com, because Equinity is who brought you this episode today, and they're always on board with all things breakaway roping and tie down roping. Hope you guys are winning wherever you are. Thanks so much.